And welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thought I'd make a video today on Invisalign. It's been about a year since I've actually finished the treatment. I did also get composite bonding done and whitening, so I thought I'd talk about that as well. Enjoy! So just to let you know before I carry on, there is a lot of pictures of teeth, my teeth, because I took a lot of pictures and I feel like it's the best way to see what really happens. So just a disclaimer, if you don't like seeing, and I mean upfront pictures of teeth. So I think one of the first things is, why would you get Invisalign? Why did I get Invisalign? And I think one of the main reasons is you want straighter teeth. As you can see from this lovely photo, I had chipped teeth for a start on the top, and I did have a chip on the bottom. I have no idea how I got this, and I don't even know when I got this. And then the bottom teeth were crowded, so they were kind of, some were back, some were forwards, and that was the part that I wanted changed really, because I could see myself in photos, especially when my head was tilted, and I could see the tooth sticking out. So officially in dentistry world, I had a rotated canine teeth as well, which I didn't even really notice until I started going there and seeing my teeth up close, which is apparently quite a difficult move. So I think that is why my treatment was quite long. It took about a year and 4 months. Yeah, so for me it was lower crowding, chipped teeth and rotated canine tooth. They were my main kind of 3 problems. So I started my treatment about 2 years ago. I went to Dream Smile in Lewisham in London and had Teki, who is absolutely amazing. I know he's got like a huge waiting list now. So essentially what the treatment is aligners. So you get a bottom aligner and a top aligner. I actually have one here. So you get a bottom one and a top one, and you change them every 2 weeks, and every aligner kind of fits your teeth but moves them ever so slightly. So every 2 weeks you change a liner, so every 2 weeks your teeth are making like a minuscule change. Depending on the kind of where your teeth are, depends how many aligners you had. I had 37 and then I had an extra 14, which is quite a lot. Kind of middle into my 37 aligners, he then reduces the time to about 10 days and then eventually 7 days as your teeth kind of get used to moving. First of all, they take an x-ray of your teeth. It's kind of like a checkup when you just go to the dentist to make sure your teeth are in good condition to actually get the treatment. I actually had to have a filling, so I had to have the filling done before I could start the treatment. So I got that done. They then take impressions of your teeth and then they send it off to America, I believe, to the actual Invisalign, and then they come back and they show you a treatment and they send you a video of how many aligners you need, what your teeth will look like by each week, if you need attachments and things like that. So here is my video that I'll show you all. At the bottom it shows you how many weeks out of 37, so I need 37 aligners. Things that are stuck on your teeth, which I'll talk about in a minute, are attachments, and the little numbers are the filing between your teeth. And it shows you each week what's going to happen. As you can see, they rotate, the lower canine is rotating, and they kind of move out my teeth and then they move in. See, there's not a lot of change to the top teeth. So my treatment took about a year and a couple months, and to be honest, the time flew by really quickly, and it just becomes part of your life to put the aligners in. I did initially have 37 aligners, but I actually did have an additional 14 because I did go to the dentist and I don't think my tooth had rotated as much as it should have had, and my teeth didn't look how they should have had, so I had another 14 aligners. Okay, first of all, pain. I can't lie to you, when I first got them, I literally had to keep taking them out every 10 minutes because they were hurting. Tooth pain is not nice. It's not nice. It's like they're sore and they're like sensitive, and yeah, so the first night, I can't lie to you, it's crazy, but I guess your teeth I've never had braces, so it's weird that they're trying to be forced to move after 20 something years. Also, the material of the aligner, the plastic, kind of rubs against your gums sometimes. I had this initially when I first started and it did really hurt. You can try filing the sides down. But eventually your teeth kind of get used to it and they start moving, they get used to move, and they didn't hurt anymore. But one tip I would definitely say is put them in before you go to bed, because when you're sleeping, you're not really feeling the pain. They do recommend you to keep them in for 22 hours, which I strongly recommend as well. Not only for the benefit of the treatment, if you leave them out for too long and then put them back in, they will hurt. So it's just a lose-lose situation. So just try and keep them in for as long as 22 hours or even more. So the little numbers that you saw in the video is called interproximal reduction. I got that right. And it's basically where they file your teeth. And this sounds crazy, but they file in between your teeth. So there's room, for example, my tooth, for the rotated tooth, to when it rotates, that there's actually room for it. This does not hurt whatsoever and literally takes seconds. It is super, super quick. So the next thing is attachments, which I think is the thing that gives away when someone has Invisalign, because they're basically like this material that's like your tooth and it's the same color as your tooth stuck onto your teeth, and they help the aligners move. So they are really, really good. They feel a bit like gravel, so they're not very nice to touch, but because you've got your aligner on, you don't really feel it because you're wearing your aligner 22 hours a day. They're glued on, really pain-free, nothing to worry about. I had them taken off at the end of my treatment. I had them drilled off, and obviously now I don't have them. But I think most cases, my friends that have had aligners, they've all had attachments. So I think that is compulsory. So after I had my attachments off, I started whitening and composite bonding. Whitening was done before the composite bonding because you can't whiten composite bonding. So you get your teeth whitened and then you get the composite bonding to match the colour of your new whitened teeth. I think there's quite a few different whitening treatments, ones from your dentist, ones that you can buy online. I just had this whitening gel that you squeeze into the aligners. You squeeze like a small dot and then you put your aligners in. I had one where you leave it overnight, and I have one where you just left in for an hour every day. So I did that for about 2 weeks. Personally for me, so I whitened my teeth last year when I had it, and my teeth were super white, and then I think over the year they kind of get less white, which is understandable. So if you do want to whiten, just bear in mind it's something that I think you have to constantly keep up with, and it depends on your teeth. I'd say for me, I'd keep up with it every 6 months, but I did kind of give up for it because after you kind of finish your treatment, it's then the case of where do you buy whitening stuff from. And I know there's loads of stuff online. Composite bonding, I think this is probably my favorite bit. So I got 5 teeth done. I got my 2 front ones because those chips were so I got the 2 front ones, the 2 side ones, and then the bottom one because I had a bottom chip. So people usually get it done to kind of reshape your tooth or get rid of chips and things like that. And now you can get composite bonding done without Invisalign, but I think most people get it done after Invisalign. It's basically composite, which is kind of like a tooth-like material. They match it to the colour of your teeth and then they kind of mould it over your teeth to get the shape of your teeth. And it's painless, it's quite quick. I think mine took under an hour. So I do think it costs quite a lot of money. I think it's maybe some places charge a couple £100 per tooth. And the composite bonding is supposed to last 5 to 10 years, which is great. So even if you do spend quite a lot of money on it in the beginning, it's a long time till you have to kind of get it done. And I think it's such a great alternative to veneers if you can, because obviously they're your real teeth. I wanted mine quite natural, so I still have the shape of my teeth, but I know some people kind of get that look. So after the treatment, I thought, I've spent a lot of money on this, I've spent a lot of time on this, so I wanted to get kind of all the permanent stuff, aftercare that you can get afterwards. So afterwards they take another impression of your teeth, your final kind of look, your final teeth, and they make some Vivieri retainers, I think that's how you say it. And it's basically like an aligner, but it's thicker. So I have to now wear that every single night for the rest of my life, which sounds quite dramatic, but I've been used to wearing aligners every single day, like 23 hours a day. So wearing them at night isn't a big deal. So what this does is it helps keep your teeth stay in place because your teeth move so much. And I didn't realize this, but your teeth move crazy amounts. Like if I don't wear the retainer for a week, my teeth have moved. Also, I got fixed wires in my teeth. So this is like a tiny amount of wire, probably literally that big, across the bottom 4 and the top 4. There, it's just kind of glued on. Honestly, I can't feel it whatsoever. I don't even notice that it's in my mouth. You literally can't see it. So I paid just under £3,000 for my treatment, which is kind of the standard price. However, I did go to Harley Street before I went to my dentist, and I went for initial consultation, and the treatment there was crazy price. It was kind of like you pay an initial 4,000, and then if you want this, this and this, you have to pay an extra 1,000. So it ended up being, I think, around 5,000 or something, which was crazy, and I kind of didn't get that personal vibe from them. So the fixed retainer wires, I think I paid roughly around 160 for them. The Veneer retainers luckily were included in my treatment. The initial price is £3,000, but I would just say to anyone to take into consideration any of the extras you want to get. So by extras, I mean the fixed retainers afterwards, the composite bonding and the whitening, and things like I had to get a filling done before. So I think you need to take into consideration all these extra things. So for example, is whitening included? How much is composite bonding for you? Extra aligners, I needed 14 extra aligners after my initial treatment. So will they charge you extra for that? Fixed retainers at the end, the Veneer retainers, do you have to pay for them? And then the wires, how much are they? So they're all the things that I would consider. So I would just try and find out in the beginning what you are actually paying for, what's included in the initial price. Finally, some tips I would suggest to anyone who's going to get Invisalign or has Invisalign or anything like that, or is starting it. Do your research before, try and find out the different dentists and what they include, as I just said before. So there's this thing called the Invisalign diet, which it is true, because every time you eat, you have to take your aligners out, you then eat obviously, and then after you put your aligners back in, you have to floss and brush your teeth again. So there's no kind of food or anything stuck in there before you put the aligners back in. So it becomes very difficult when you want to snack, because you think, oh my God, I have to go brush my teeth after. So when you're in public places as well, I'm one of these people. I eat a lot of food out on the go, I'd say. So you can't just take your aligners out and just eat on the street. Taking your aligners out, it's not pretty. So you have to do that in front of people, which you don't want to do, and then you can't floss and brush your teeth if you're outside, really. So everything has to be convenient when you eat. Another tip I would say is always carry your case around. So whenever you take your aligners, put them back in the case, the bright blue, red, whatever case. Because there's been times I've gone to a restaurant, I've put them on a bit of tissue paper, the waitress has come and she's taken the tissue paper because I've forgotten to put it in my bag or whatever, I've just left it on the table, which is stupid, and she's put them in the bin. Which also leads on to another point, is keep your old aligners. Because if that happens, you can't not wear anything, because again, like I said, your teeth will move. So for all the people that go out on a night out, which I've been on many times in my aligners, what can you drink, what can you not drink? So they do stain, so even if you eat, sometimes when I eat kind of things that have cumin in them, they go yellow after. This sounds so gross, but it's true. So I would say avoid things like red wine. I drank spirits, but I left them in because drinking like a vodka and lemonade is the same colour as drinking water, and it's not really that bad. Just remember to brush your teeth on a night out. I wouldn't want to leave them out for a whole night, because to be honest, you're probably going to forget about them when you get home, and then that's probably, you know, a good 12 hours or more so that you've had without your aligners, and they will really hurt when you put them back in. I did briefly touch on this, but are they noticeable? I would say yes. When I've spoken to people when I had them in, people do go, oh, have you got braces and things like that, but they're clear, it's not really a big deal. They're so much better looking than the train, you know, the metal train tracks that you used to get. I would recommend taking loads of pictures. Personally, I think it's fun to see your teeth move and you can really see the progress and things like that. And also what I touched on earlier is make sure you can change them at night, so you're keeping pain at the minimal. So as you can see, my teeth are now straight. I've had composite bonding done on the bottom teeth. They're not super white, but I have had them a tiny bit whitened. And I'm super, super, super happy with the results, and I would 100% recommend Invisalign. So that is all the basics on Invisalign that I had done. If you want to know any more questions, please feel free to just ask, because I can talk about teeth all day and I can show you even more pictures. Thank you so much for watching my channel, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, and I'll see you all later.